Hi folks, I'm Steve Butler. Today we're building this compact, sturdy workbench, perfect for the small shop space. Come see how we do it here in the garage. Let's have a look at our project. We're using off-the-shelf construction-grade material. We have a bench top that's made up of 2 layers of 3/4-inch plywood, and on top of that, I put on a piece of masonite or hardboard, and then when this gets wrecked, you can just unscrew it, put on another piece, and you basically have refinished the top of your bench. Now, with the 2 layers of plywood, we create a small tool well, and we just attach some cove molding on here so pencils or tape measures won't roll off. We're going to attach a nice 9-inch vise to the end. And I'm not going to make a drawer for this project because I need some more storage space for some routers and drills. So we're just going to have 2 shelves made up of 1/2-inch plywood. All right, let's get started. All right, the joinery for the bench is basically a series of dados and rabbet joints. We have 4 posts or legs, and you can see we have a rabbet joint cut out at the top, a notch, a couple of notches for our shelf supports, and then a rabbet joint at the bottom. And what that does, we have a rabbet joint or a lap joint, you can call it, for the feet. And that is going to be glued and screwed and hold that together. We have an end cap for the top. And then we're going to cut a couple of rabbets on our front and back support. We have our shelf supports, which are a 2x3 spruce lumber, and we just run a groove or a dado along the length of it, and that's going to house our plywood shelf. Now, it's real easy to get turned around on this. You have 4 legs, you have a right and a left on either side, so take your time, draw your lines out, double check before you start cutting in the material. Now, this material, this is great. I utilized some pieces I had left over from a previous project. We have some newer material I purchased, some with a little bit of finish on. This is a workbench. It doesn't matter. You can paint it up if you wanted to. You could use a different material and beef it up. But the joinery is still the same. We have some dados and rabbets, and let's go cut those on the table saw. I have a collection of DIY books from the 50s and 60s, and I was going through one of them one day and saw a bunch of these plans for workbenches. And not quite like this, but pretty close. So we just modified it, made it our own. And the first one, you know, we put a drawer in there. I needed some storage for some hand tools. And in this one, we just used 2 shelves and made it our own. It's a nice project. All right, I've set up my stacked dado blade set in the table saw. Now, the standard dimension for a 2x4 ends up being 1.5 by 3.5 inches. But sometimes, you know, there might be some slight discrepancies coming out of the mill. So the best way, just use the material you're using. So first cut we're making is a rabbet joint or a 1/2 lap joint at the end of our post. Now that's to accommodate the full width of our 2x4. So I'm just raised the blade to 3/4 inch. That's how deep we want that rabbet joint to be. And I just used our 2x4, spun the blade till it's flush with the edge of it. And then it's kind of like a no-brainer. You don't have to go wrong. I have my fence set there. I can't go past it, make a mistake. So make sure you have your safety glasses on, and we're just going to go ahead and cut that top rabbet joint on all of our leg posts. Okay, that looks great. 3/4 inch deep. Now I'm just gonna move this over, make a series of cuts on the dado blades until we hog out that whole rabbet. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing for all of our posts.